Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever it is, wherever you are. Thank you for watching the Go Mode Podcast Twitch channel. We've got yet another Challenge Cup race. Today it is the first game of the series between Tripp and Timp. Who? Timp? What? Huh. I've never heard that name before. It is round 2 of the brackets of the Challenge Cup. My name is Westside Vandal. With me is Jinxie Girl. Tracking is Oro, and restreaming is Amarith. Or Amarith, sorry. Still getting that pronunciation back in the brain there.
Hello, everybody.
Alright, so this is just gonna be game 1, so it's just a no frills, randomized sword, 7-7, open defeat Ganon.
I love Tim's sprite. It is so adorable.
Yeah. Adirondack Rick kind of rocked my world yesterday by telling me that there was a Rocco sprite now, which, as a child of the 90s, I approve. Alright, and we're off!
Right? I feel like they listen to us.
Just rupees in Link's house and Sanctuary. Tripp looks like he's gonna go grab some bombs, and Timp is, well, just kind of doing the standard opening from Sanctuary.
That 50 spot is pretty nice because that's 10 bombs. You're not going to worry about farming. Although,
Yep.
Tripp doing my typical start, but I play cross keys, so.
Gets one bomb. Oh, Timp gets hit by that dancing pickle there. Is not going to be able to confirm the tier 1 tree pull. And then kills the bush crab. He's just having a go at it. Although I think the bush crab kill was intentional. Yep. Killed the bush crab to get the tier 1, which is 5 arrows. And the bush crab with bombs. Nice.
Oh, the irony. Looks like we have Kena Burna on the race game.
Ooh. Interesting. Oh, and Tripp gonna grab it. Interesting. Bombs on Pyramid Ledge.
So far, we're not going to be completing Aga for that prize.
Nope.
I find it ironic that Tim killed the hoarder to do the tree pull when the hoarder had bombs.
Yep. Speaking of which, just going ahead and using that second hoarder crab to fill up to 10. And then, pick up an 11th just for good measure. Doesn't count, but why not?
Ooh, just 10 arrows so far in the last wood. Let's see what the drop down has and what the library has for us today.
All right.
$20.
And lamp! Oh dear. Well, that means the boots are going to be relatively early in this one.
What if we need boots to get our first fire source? I've noticed lately that we've had a lot of fire rod go modes of all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least, first sword in the back of the tavern. Nice.
That definitely does not.
Let's
map check.
Guys.
I saw 5-6 at Eastern, and I think a crystal at Tower of Hera.
I saw red at Tower of Hera, so.
Oh yeah, our 2-5-6s being Tower of Hera and Eastern Palace, and our green pendant being over at Desert.
Alrighty then.
Interesting.
Meanwhile, Blind's basement. Glove! 300 rupees. And bombs.
I mean, the glove isn't terrible.
The Oro special location. 3 Oro. Less than 3 Oro, thank you for tracking. Nice rupee count for Timp, by the way.
Are you going to use up our PG-13 rating, like, within the first 5 minutes?
What did I do?
What did you do? You know what you did.
I did what?
Go to your room.
No. Don't sass me, woman. And it's good. It's good.
You are playing.
Yep. Acknowledged. Duly noted and ignored. The train is
the bottom. bombs
And
and
we
the tech.
and the commentary has already started to go off the rails, and we are less than 4 minutes in. This gun be good. Another sword off the
Ooh,
bottle
our
bender.
2 swords. Could this be an aggro require?
Ugh, that would
Dare I say?
that would be disgusting with the lamp on library though.
I agree. But at least you know you're gonna have boots for Aga Tower.
I mean, valid. I'm still trying to figure out what on earth I said to prompt a discussion about our PG-13 rating, but I'm sure somebody will tell me.
Sick kid with just a heart.
I'm sure somebody will tell me when I'm older, apparently.
Make a mental note. We'll tell you when.
All right, so our runners surprisingly in lockstep getting their master swords there, pretty much within 10 seconds of each other from entirely different locations. Timp about to receive the interesting news of the lamp location here.
Yeah, probably gonna grab that Berna. That's really nice early on, even though it's laggy. It.
Indeed it is. And now we're going to see what our runners decide to do here. Tripp looks like he's going up to Lost Woods to check those out. I mean, we've got Escape, we've got South Shore, we've got Saha's Closet, and what we can grab in Eastern at least. With that glove, we could see one chest on Death Mountain, but and the old man if we wanted to do Dark Old Man Rescue, but that doesn't seem like a very good use of our time now, does it? What does seem like a good use of our time in Glove is to go do the back half of Escape, which is exactly what Timp is doing. Alright, up goes the bomb. Boom goes the dynamite. Map, bombs, and key. So there is an item in the Dark Cross. Save and quit from Timp. Grabs that big 20 out of Link's house chest. Looks like he is going to go do Uncle and the front half of Escape here.
I like this play. We have our master sword, and we know there's items there, so it's definitely.
Yep. Tim's going to go say hi to himself. Lol. Red meringue from the uncle today. And big 20. So the boots locking the lamp reminded me of a seed I played last night. It was an ambrosia seed, and the boots hint we were given said, hey, the boots are in Hyrule Castle. So you'd figure, okay, cool, we're gonna find it like here in the front of Escape, right? Yeah, no, they were in the back of Escape, and you couldn't get there until you found you couldn't get in until you got bombs, and then you had to run back through Escape because none of the enemies in Escape had the bomb prize pool. Speaking of the boots, yeah. So you know, you the runners. I ended up having to run Escape twice in that seed because of the way bombs worked out. It was fun.
That's gross. And Tripp got some Mario.
Ooh. Interesting. All right, so those boots does give us access to our lamp. That was some grammar right there. And that will put Aghanim 1 in logic. Still plenty of locations left to be able to find the Moon Pearl and the hammer, or the other glove. That's Ether.
Oh, there's.
Well, there went a lot of those locations I was just talking about, so this could be a problem. Or a boon,
Yeah.
depending on how masochistic you are. Boy, I just butchered that word too.
Words are hard.
Alright, Timp. Death Warp incoming. Yep.
I don't blame him. Knowing where that lamp is, kind of fighting through Dark Cross when you don't have to. I'm probably banking on Aga. Oh, nope, he's
I was
going
about
to
to
do
say,
it.
he's just death
Okay.
warping to the entrance. It doesn't mean he's not going to go into Dark Cross.
Yeah. I don't know.
Hook shot!
Hook.
That's going to open up Death Mountain a bit more. So we'll see if Tripp decides to do Dark Old Man, or if he remembers that that lamp is where it is, and yeah, it looks like he's going to check Hyrule here because he knows the boots have to be somewhere early for that lamp.
I mean, I've seen the lamp in TR before, which is never early. But I feel like this might be pointing us to an early Aga, which is unfortunate.
Speaking of unfortunate, that's a death in the Dark Cross room for Timp. Well, I can't quite say Dark Cross. In the darkness of the of escape there. So it looks like he is gonna just go, you know what? Fine, I've got boots. I can come back and grab this after I grab this lamp that I know the location of. But first, I'm gonna go do all these South Shore checks.
Gonna be happy he did that though.
Our restreamer is saying that that was indeed the actual Dark Cross room. Alrighty then.
That feels even worse.
So there's that Cane of Samaria for Timp, and then hopefully we'll be making it, his way over to Ice Rod Cave to get that hook shot.
And even though we don't have that Moon Pearl, Zora is in logic because we have that glove. So I was surprised not to see Tripp set up fake flippers just to run up to Zora to kind of save a little.
I don't know. I kind of forget fake flippering is a thing unless we have that Moon Pearl to be able to put Waterfall Cave in there with the Zora check. But I acknowledge that that's one of my many failings in rando planning. So
Well, fake flippers is a sequence break, so if you're playing according to logic, it's definitely not.
our tracker pointing out that with Timp having the boots before doing these checks, he's going to have the opportunity to set up a water walk. So he will be able to check
nice,
Waterfall with that water walk.
I love setting up a water walk with boots. It's just so satisfying.
Tripp takes a death and escape
Tripp.
to the ball and chain yard.
That feels bad.
Yes, indeed it does.
I mean, nothing important that he's leaving, but that's going to be in the back of his mind.
I have no suspiciously specific denial there from our tracker.
Oh, Tim not going to do the water walk.
Interesting.
Although I think Tim stays fairly close to logic, so I'm actually not surprised.
I am kind of surprised that he chose to save and quit to Sanctuary and not Link's house to go grab that lamp, though. Oh, bonk rocks.
Oh,
Single arrow of destiny. Nice. Okay. I can't quite tell. Ooh, shovel, by the way, was in the dark cross of escape.
that is an interesting one.
Yeah. So
Tripp's going to be able to check that on his way to get that lamp.
speaking of that lamp, Timp grabbing it. All right, so what's that shovel got? The ice rod! Uh-oh.
Wow.
Uh-oh. So Timp dying in Dark Cross might loom large here, depending on if we need to do Turtle Rock or not.
That is an interesting one.
That's... oh boy. Nice spin speed there from, actually I think that was hook speed. Either way, nice super speed by Tripp, grabbing that lamp now.
Yeah, it was
And the
spin.
save and quit. Walter pointing out, if this is indeed an Aga seed, Timp will be 100% going back to that Dark Cross while he's doing Aga.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But with this hook shot now, we are going to be able to see Paradox Cave. And that's
Ooh.
7 checks.
Interesting. Tripp is skipping bonk rocks. I mean, we know it's nothing, but he doesn't. Oh, never mind. He heard me.
From 15 minutes in the past.
Right?
Good night, that plant freaks me out. Wow.
Just a full heart off Uncle, although giving our low percentage right, our off old man, that's not terrible to find. Tim going straight over to the right side here.
Yep, and needs to be... never mind.
Rip.
I was about to say needs to be careful, but took that plant to that bouncer to the face there. Looks like he is gonna check Spectacle now. So what is up on Spectacle Rock today? That is a full heart Timp. There we go. It's like, there's not gonna be anything inside here, right? And there wasn't. Alright, take number 2, trying to get over to Paradox Cave here.
That would be quite a bold play.
Alright, so let's see what Paradox Cave has in store for our runners today. Gonna need to find 2 items fairly quickly here, or we're gonna be going to Aga Tower.
Yeah, that early hookshot, lamp, and master sword, that makes me think, Aga, that you're not getting that hammer right away. I've been wrong once before.
Or the
though.
other glove. Well, we have a hammer.
Oh, wow. Shut. Okay.
So
Ignore.
So in before Moon Pearl on Pyramid Ledge.
That gives us.
Oh, you're right, it does. Oh, Vanilla Pearl. Oof.
Cliche.
Blue Mail is on
vanilla.
Floating Island. Timp was on autopilot there. I was like, I'm gonna go see what the medallion for TR is. Oh wait. Alright, he is indeed gonna use that hammer. And it looks like we're just gonna have a constant series of high fives from our runners here, as both of them are going into Tower of Hera.
Do have a fire source, so we don't have to worry about that big key. And of course, we don't anyway, because there it is.
Yep. Might still have to
Oh,
worry.
you don't got the mirror, my.
Might still have to worry about there being something down there, but you don't have to go down there just yet.
Oh, gonna get a hair pot from Tripp.
Ooh. Up. And that mini Voldorm is having none of it.
Yeah, you definitely got to make sure you kill those enemies first.
And by the time Tripp gets this lined up, Timp's gonna be there. So yeah. Looks like Tripp is gonna
No items in Hera yet. Ooh, there's that small key,
Which
so we are
means-
gonna have to do a basement dip
Yeah.
if we want that second item.
Tripp,
My man.
buddy, you it only saves time if you manage to hit it first try, dude.
Gotta go for the swag at this point. Committed to it. I
I mean,
appreciate that.
to be fair, he needed the fairies at that point, but
Yeah. Is Moldorm gonna troll today?
it's like Timp has it fairly well under control so far. Yep.
What is our first item?
Little piece of love.
Oh, just hard. To the basement with you.
Tripp, you're not yet anyway. Yeah, but yeah, I'm not sure why Tripp was so dead set on that Herapod. I mean, I could understand the first attempt, but actually resetting the dungeon and then trying again at that point, that just seems like full-on Kevin Costner and Tin Cup. Alright, Timp grabs the coffee break here, and Tripp probably not going to be too far behind, so now would be... Yes, I have seen a movie before. Imagine that.
He just hasn't seen good.
Wow. Anyway, to distract from my lack of movie watching, now would be a good time to talk about the Go Mode podcast available at gomodepodcast.com or your podcast distribution method of choice. Don't forget about that Discord as well. We've got the bi-weekly seed, usually a seed designed to talk about the topic of the latest episode of the podcast. This time around, it's about trackers. So the challenge is to just complete a seed with a different tracker situation than usual, whether it's by using a different tracker or no tracker.
Yeah, Hera was a lost cause, unfortunately, but that is our first 5-6 crystals, so
Did need to be done. Author calling out Spotify, and Matt Cap getting some light trolling in about the bi-weekly seed. All right.
Hera is not being nice to either of our runners. This is true.
All right, we're gonna see what's inside Spiral Cave here. So the locations we have logical access to now are we have 3 items in Saha's closet, up to 3 items in Eastern Palace, Gina's cave, and that's it. Zora. So that's 8 items remaining, and we need 2 items out of that 8 to roll what we want, so that we don't have to do Ago 1.
Spike Cave off the map there now. Unfortunately, just having $50. All this money, though, that's telling me, like, check Zora. It's out of the way. It's gross.
Actually, yeah, Amarith pointing out we only need Moon Pearl because I completely forgot we got that hammer earlier. So we do only need that Moon Pearl. So we need 1 out of 8 of the checks to roll our way. So looks like Timp is going to head over to Agina.
With the boots, it makes it slightly less inconvenient. Looks like Tripp is going to make the Eastern play.
Yep. All right, Desert Ledge, 10 arrows. It's been loaded to a point, but we're still looking for just that Moon Pearl for Dark World access here. Because we got all the fixins for again. Oh well, there's that Moon Pearl in
never
Saha's
mind.
closet, so there's Dark World access. And there's the powder in Agina's cave. So with that Moon Pearl being in Saha's closet, that is now going to bring up the question of, are we going to need that ice rod from Dark Cross? And if so, when is Timp going to go back and check that? And as I say that,
right now?
yeah, looks like he is not going to risk that very nightmare scenario that I was just trying to outline. He is going directly to Dark Cross. Do not pass go. Did not collect 200 rupees.
You beat me. I was just gonna say that.
Oh, but therein lies the rub. We do have logical AGA access, which means Timp beelining for Dark Cross might be, oh, do Dark Cross and then do Escape. And we are going to need that Ice Rod, so luckily Timp is going to have it in his possession once he checks Dig Spot. Because I forgot it was Dark Cross Shovel to Ice Rod on Dig Spot. Because I'm good at my job. My volunteer job. Save and quit out. And looks like he's going to go do the dig spot here. Swamp and Thieves Town, by the way, were our other pendants.
Well, early item in Skull Woods, but it's just a piece of heart.
All right, there's that ice rod for Timp. So the fact that you immediately saved and quit and went to go check that dig spot, I think speaks to I don't think he's quite ready to commit to Ago 1 yet. I feel like if he was going to do that, he would have done it before he checked Shovel. And indeed, it looks like he is going over to Eastern here. So he is going to go find that Moon Pearl and have his Dark World access as well.
Will we have access to our second item in Skull Woods?
And
yep,
there
and
it is.
it's gross.
And Timp talking to Saha to receive information he already knew.
Sometimes it's like nice to say hi.
Mm-hmm. I mean, as long as we don't combine the two and accidentally start a politics debate, I think we'll be fine.
Nothing on our bumper cave today. I was kind of hoping Timp was going to give us a look at Hype Cave first, but alas, going over to Dark Cack.
All right. So speaking of Village of Outcasts, C-shaped house with 3 bombs. So Pendant Thieves has been paying out a lot from what I've seen recently, so it'll be interesting to see if either of our runners decides to take the gamble this early here.
We do have the ability to full clear it.
We do indeed.
Bombs in Bomb Hut. Ironic.
Timp is heading for the dark world portal. Yep, there it is. Looks like he is going to go directly to to Village of Outcasts though, and Tripp is now in Pendant Thieves.
It'll be good for him if he doesn't waste his time in Skull Woods right now.
Yep. Because we know it does not have anything important progression-wise. Okay.
Wow, only 1 item in the front of Thieves Town. That's alarming.
Yeah. Intentional death? Question mark?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yep, Tripp with the interesting call to dip out here. Because honestly, I could kind of justify either one. Also, Tripp lucking out and getting 100 rupees as his random item from the chest game, whereas poor Timp got the double single rupee.
Yeah, it's always interesting what the first chest pick is going to be. Wondering if Timp is going to go ahead and do Thieves Town. That's a tough call, but 3 items plus having the hammer. Ooh, it'd be hard to leave it, I think. Not for Tripp.
Yeah. Tripp just
Oh my
decided,
gosh, that anti-fair.
You know what? I'm just gonna hope it's not back here. Looks like we are gonna see the location sometimes known as Hype Cave.
It has not been Hype Cave lately.
Well, I mean, in the restream last night, it had flute, so.
Yeah, Timp gonna commit to Thieves Town.
Interesting. Quake.
Where's Quake?
Flippers.
300
rupees. Moderately hype. Okay, so what is the back of Pendant Thieves Town gonna have in store for us? Is this gonna be a good Galaxy Brain play or a bad Galaxy Brain play?
Well, so far we've had 2 empty crystal dungeons, so maybe a pendant dungeon is the answer.
Neither runner has gone into Eastern.
True.
Well, you said 2 empty crystal dungeons, so I'm just trying to figure out where the second one was.
Skullwoods.
Oh, shoot. Clearly my caffeine hasn't kicked in yet.
You'll be alright. I still appreciate you. I like this play by Tripp. We're going to get to see Catfish, Zora, Waterfall Fairy, probably go down to Hobo. I like this. Yeah, Timp is on 1 heart, but does have that powder. So there we go. Clutch Fairy.
All right. Some more calcium for the catfish's diet.
We don't have mirror. So no. We were just checking catfish for nothing. Oh, rip.
Oof.
We've had early mirror so many times that we've been calming. It's like slipping my mind that we don't have it. There's a map in Blind's cell, so we are going to get to see the big chest.
Yep. And we're probably going to end up seeing Blind too.
Yeah. I don't see why not at this point.
Yeah.
Blind
Oh,
is going to have
bacon!
an item anyway. Nice. Not bad. Hylia Island with just 10 arrows. So we do have an item at least on Blind, so this kill isn't... Okay.
Oh boy.
I love my people. Hobo, just 20 ruby.
Okay. Timp looking on script so far.
I almost want to say digging out just a sword from Thieves Town would make it worth it in my
Yeah.
book. Master Sword to Temper Sword is just so...
Yeah, that's pretty much worth the price of admission right there. And you never know, this could be a pedestal seed, so that pendant might come in handy, who knows?
Very true. What does our Waterfall Fairy
Bombs.
have? Just some bombs.
Right. Timp now gonna make his way over to what is a moderately hyped cave. Not before checking out what Alec Baldwin has and Stumpy has for him.
Let's see what the King of Scams has. Uh, 500-pound blue goo.
19 digs for a big 20. That's just rude.
Tripp forgot what was on that ledge. Had to go back and double check to see it was just 10 arrows.
Okay.
Where are you gonna go now, Tripp?
That is a very good... Oh, looks like he's going to go check what we can do in Eastern.
Pretty makes sense. Other than Thieves Town, we really don't have much more we can do.
I mean, we could theoretically get into Palace of Darkness.
Yeah.
But it's kind of the same situation as Eastern, where you can't full clear it because you don't have that bow. Although there are technically more items in Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, I think I probably would have went pod before Eastern, I think, in this situation. Cannot get into Swamp Palace. We don't have the mirror. I make that mistake all the time.
All right, so Timp saving and quitting from Hype Cave. Probably going to see much the same thing we saw from Tripp in regards to checks.
Yeah, Tim gonna go ahead and do those water checks down here. First item, just piece of heart.
This is a valid point from Amarith, our restreamer. Eastern Palace is technically Spear 0, so if there's something here, that could start an item chain leading to unlocking, like, Fire Rod or even potentially the bow.
True. You have a fair point, sir.
Alright. So far, that theory is not bearing fruit, but we do still have two items left to find here. And we have found that big key, so... Well, never mind, item on Armos Knights.
What type of fruit would it bear should it be able to bear?
Monk fruit? Sure, why not? We'll go with that.
Okay. A Spear 0 is something that you can access without getting any items in the game. So it's something that's readily available as soon as you start at Link's house. And since this is an open seed, it's definitely Spear 0 because you don't have to do escape first.
And then the spears increase in number as you find items that lock, items in locations that are locked behind another item. Like anything that's glove locked, for example, might be Spear 1, depending on where you found gloves.
Yeah, and like, so the boot sphere, since it was available in Hyrule Castle, that led us to the lamp, which would be Spear 2, which led us to hammer. No, I don't know if that would go with the hook shot or the hammer, or yeah, but so on and so forth.
All right, so Eastern Palace not panning out. Tripp taking the trip. See what I did there?
I see it.
To go to the Dark World, and he is going to be dipping Palace of Darkness next.
Oh, Aura makes a good point. Timp has that powder that he has not checked yet. And can
Looks
check
like,
it.
however, he is going to the Dark World via the Kakariko portal, which would imply to me that he's going to check Skull Woods.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean,
Which
probably trying to hold off on that powder till he can do the Smith chain. Which, I mean, isn't terrible, but we know Skull Woods is crap, so.
Yep.
So, I don't think Pod can be bow locked right now, unless the bow is in this chest. Because I'm pretty sure this is all we have left, other than that powder.
I believe you are correct. Yep. Alright, so the expected small key there, and Tripp going to be heading back into the back portion of Tripp. Is he just gonna potion glitch anyway?
Yep. I mean, kind of low on hearts, so it's not a terrible move. Nope, never mind. I'm so confused.
Might have just been on autopilot and went, I'm gonna go this way, and then realized, oh wait, I don't have the bow.
Yeah, these runners like are psyching me out. Ooh, Tripp just gonna say, nope, let's go to the back.
Yep. I mean, and Tripp may not be comfortable with the potion glitch. Especially after the Haripot debacle, may just be like, you know what? I'm not gonna press my luck on these sorts of things today. I'm just gonna stay in logic.
Quite possibly. Wow, so far just keys. Oh, there's an item.
Yeah, which does fit in with the whole mullet dungeon thing Palace of Darkness has going on in non-key sanity.
I don't think he wants to conserve his potion for much longer. He's starting to give me a little bit of chest pain.
Oro pointing out that with the key logic the way it is, we probably are now bow locked in Palace of Darkness.
So then bow on magic bat?
You?
I mean, the bow has to be here, I think. I mean, there's nowhere else.
Nice refill there for Tripp, by the way.
Yeah, that was unfortunately clutch at a really bad time for him.
Oh, that's a good point.
Because now he can't.
That's a good point.
Doesn't have the big key yet, so can't check that big chest.
Oro also pointing out Magic Bat could have the mirror, which would open up Swamp Palace and a bunch of different overworld checks.
True. We do have Spike Cave, which I forgot about.
We could also see the Titan's mitts. That would open up some things.
All the things. Yeah, I think as of right now, Magic Bat. Yeah. Magic Bat and Spike Cave. That's what we got.
Oof. Okay then.
Pain. Wishing the evil on the runners. I'm so confused by this seed right now. I don't know what's happening. It's hurting my head.
Okay, potion glitch coming from Tripp here.
Yeah, definitely
Nicely
looked
executed.
good.
Nice. So yeah, Powder was where again?
Agina.
Oof. Oh, Book of Medora in the Bowlock side of Pod.
Interesting. Unfortunately, getting that big key as well. Gonna have to go back to that big chest.
So this could prove interesting for Tripp, because that does open up the Ether and Bombos
Well,
tablets. There we go.
not Bombos yet. We don't have that mirror, but it does open
Oh.
up Ether pedestal that we can see what it is. But nothing
And
really
desert.
else. Well, desert, yeah. Green pendant desert. But that's gonna get him over to a. Oh, that looked
almost
good
had
to
the
me.
hammer yump.
That's gonna get him over to Agina where he can get his powder, which I have a feeling that might be our progression, our logical progression.
The flashy tricks are just not availing Tripp today. Between this hammer yump and the got it on the second try. Oh, for the map. That's just that's gotta hurt. Between that hammer yump and the Harapot, just not having a good time of it with those sorts of setups today.
And starting back at Kakariko, this isn't good either because he needs to get to the desert area. Although I think he's probably gonna check Ped first? Question mark.
I mean, why not at this point? Yep, he is heading directly for the Lost Woods.
He's doing Thieves Town. That's exactly what he's doing, is Thieves Town.
Oh, good call.
Sorry, I was taking a drink and just about choked myself to announce that he was going to Thieves Town. Sorry. Were you patting me on the back so I could breathe?
No, more like golf clapping, but
Appreciate it. Appreciate you.
mhm.
Surprised he didn't check Ped first. I mean, come on. Come on.
Yeah, it would unironically be good knowledge to have at this point. That was way too energetic for a golf clap. I mean, fair.
You know what's not fair? The fact that we don't know what's on Magic Bat, and I am 99.999% sure that it is.
I mean, it kind of has to be. We're out of
Yeah.
locations to check otherwise.
But I'm impatient and I want to know. Yeah, Tripp checked Catfish a while back. I mean, I don't blame him making the check. We can hookshot here and run super fast. No mirror, never mind.
Okay. So right now we're just waiting for our runners to, well, in Tripp's case, he needs to get that powder to get to Magic Bat. We're waiting on our runners to either go Magic Bat or go to Spike Cave, and unfortunately, Timp looks like he is going to go into Palace of Darkness here.
I think Tripp might. Oh no, he doesn't have the mirror. That would be a long trek. I was gonna say I would see him doing Spike Cave over Desert first because the book is out of logic, but Desert Palace is Green Pendant. I don't know. I'm usually pretty good at figuring out where people are going,
Yeah.
but not today. These runners are really giving me a run for my money.
Yeah, and plus just the seed itself is a bit of a head scratcher. So figuring out where to go is half the battle here.
Yeah, that
And,
is
and,
100%.
If G.I. Joe has taught me anything, knowing is the other half.
Good on G.I. Joe. That's a pretty good anecdote to have. Tripp about to pick up his tempered sword, but that's all. He will get that red pendant, and he does have the book, so he can have Ped knowledge. But without that mirror, it is going to be a pain in the neck to route Ped in now.
So what could be on that pedestal? It could be one of the medallions. It could be Bombos. If we needed to get into one of those checks. Could be flute.
Could be a bow.
Could be fire rod. Or
mushroom.
Lead to any of those things.
So Hashalabot has been really, really temperamental this tournament and just giving the runners just the most brutal scenarios anyone could ever want. It's like a plando, like someone snuck a plando into Sahabat.
So Oro and chat pointing out correctly that we need bow and mirror for Ped to be in logic.
No. Okay, you're good, Tim. Okay. Nope. Go. There you go. Thank you. Oh, that's right. Tripp didn't do Dig Game or Stumpy yet. Oh, wow, that was pretty fast for that. Which I've never seen it done like that before.
Nicely done by Timp. All right. So Timp about to receive his Book of Medora, and probably be like completely nonplussed.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
You have hammer. No.
Oh, Timp, buddy.
What is he doing?
I don't know. This siege has broken everybody involved. And we're only
Yeah,
54 minutes in.
that's
What on earth?
interesting. Yeah, that was a long way back with Hammer and Boots. I'm not sure why.
Lumberjack is a big bombs, wasn't it?
Good. Bombs.
Yeah. Sorry. I don't know where Big 20 came from, but
Okay, Tripp about to get his magic pop. Nope.
he's gonna do the same thing that. Oh wait, no, he has book. Never mind. Yeah. Oof. So Tripp gonna fall further down the out of logic rabbit hole.
Agena is Sphere 0. Yeah, I mean, it could be Spike Cave. We did get Kena Burna fairly early. Like minutes.
Yep. All right, so we were boots locked in desert, which, I mean, with how early the boots were, makes sense.
The thing is with logic and breaking the logic is while you can get really impressive items by the logic breaks, you still have to keep in mind where you got them and where you're at in your logic train, because you could be skipping something vital to completing the game. If you find mitts and sequence break aga, that's a great thing. But if you find this book and you're on a wild goose chase in desert when your progression is sitting on magic bat, then this is going to take you further and further away from these checks. So instead of saving you time, it's going to cost you time, because now you're doing unnecessary things, like getting a 3-pack of bombs in desert.
All right, and compass. So our second item is on Land Willis.
Yeah.
Along with that green pendant.
So it's 2 items for desert. I mean, I never think doing a green pendant is a bad idea. Unfortunately, knowing that there is progression in one of 2 places that are both awful to get to, and now you have this book that's going to lead you further away. I mean, it could very well be the Titan's Mids that's on there. It could be anything at this point. It could be Mirror. And so, it's sequence breaks are great, but you have to keep in mind where you're breaking it.
Timp, don't, buddy. Timp's gonna be following Tripp to the desert here.
At this point, I feel like Timp has forgotten about magic powder, because he's had 2 opportunities now to check it and he hasn't. So this could be bad. There, you just went past it. Take a look at it.
This is also going to put both of our runners at 2 out of 3 pendants, so I would not be surprised to see a pedestal check shortly.
Yeah, I mean, at least we know it can't be Mirror on pedestal. But I mean, at this point, that's pretty much the only thing that guaranteed can't be on ped.
Well, bow. Well, yes, technically
No, we could have a bow.
Yeah, but that would mean there's another bow out there in the world, because we need the bow to clear.
Bow is probably on our magic.
Wait.
Yep.
Oh, but the book
so
bow
far.
lock,
We'll
that's
have to
right.
see. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, my brain froze for a second there, because I was like, but none of the pendant dungeons need the bow. What? Okay, so nothing in desert outside of that green pendant. Tripp about to receive his powder. So we have green powder. Oh my god. Magic Bat and Spike Cave are our last logical progression at the moment.
Yeah, I feel like Tripp is gonna check Spike
That's
Cave.
exactly what he's doing.
Oh, it's such a long trip to get up to the ether tablet. But again, we could pull the mirror right out of Spike Cave and it be, you know.
Yep. That would be pretty nice.
A
Oh,
long
Lord.
trip. Ba-dum-ching.
We're just going to have to actively avoid saying Tripp in situations other than his naming the actual runner for the rest of the seed. Okay, got it. Duly noted and most likely ignored. Tripp, you gonna equip that Canna Burna, buddy? Thank you. Cutting it a little bit close. There we go.
Okay, so it's Magic Bat.
Oh boy.
What you doing, Tripp? Tripp.
He's turning in the
Turning
green
in the
pendant.
green. Can we do anything else before checking Magic Bat?
I mean, if we find beer here, yes, absolutely.
Jesus, take the wheel. I can't. You remember when when we watched that seed and nobody checked Lumberjack and there was
10
our
arrows!
progression? See,
Well,
we didn't have to do desert at all. As far as we know. Ped could be something, but
well, it probably is something, the rate this seed is going. And the rate this seed is going, it's probably mushroom leading to something.
I feel like Tripp can feel me staring daggers into his stream and was like putting on the magic powders. He's like, look, girl, I'm gonna get it. It's fine. I got this. Exactly, Oro. That's what I was saying. You have to be in control of your logic break.
Yep.
You have to. What are you doing? Tripp!
He's checking the
Nope.
pedestal.
Oh my. Oh my god. I can't. I can't.
If anybody needs to wants to commentate, you may want to hop in the Go Mode Podcast Discord because I have a feeling my co-com is about to explode with rage.
I just. Oh.
10 arrows on the pedestal. Rip, Ped.
They do. I don't understand why there's such an avoidance to Magic Bat right now.
Oh my god, this is
I-
amazing. And Kemp's going the long way around.
Oh, thank goodness.
Which means I think Timp is gonna go do Ether Tablet before he does Spike.
Get to that Magic Bat right this second. I was thinking he's gonna run out of magic because he's doing Spike Cave first. I'm like, yeah, make sure you do that. So now you have to farm for magic. Yeah, this check was available very, very, very early, within the first 10 minutes of the game.
And survey says Titans.
Thank you.
Oh boy.
And here's the thing, if Timp would have remembered his powder, this trip all the way over to the right side of Death Mountain
wouldn't have been wasted because he could have done all of Dark Death Mountain with this. Don't get lost in a sequence break.
I can feel the anger all the way across the country right now.
We've already discussed that I have obsessive compulsive disorder. This is making me insane.
Bees! Alright, so Spike Cave check from Timp now. Oh boy.
Oh, Lord.
Hammer pegs. Heart container. Oh man alive. Timp, buddy. Thank you. Timp? Timp!
I'm gonna need to take a minute here. Need to get good with everything. Yeah.
478. Get Jinxie. 478. Wait, I think I got that count wrong.
No, so far this
That is-
seed has been super trolly, but it's the runners who are trolling themselves with this seed. Their progression was very, very evident. They chose to ignore it.
Jinxie channeling DJ Khaled for a second. Congratulations, you played yourself.
Oh, there's our fire rod. Look at what those mitts have led us to already.
Oh man. Ooh, by the way, Jeremiah getting kind of the world tour here. You sequence broke, which caused undue stress to the comms and put yourself behind in the race, so you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
I love our chat so much. But I mean, okay, given the fact
I
that
said
I've
good
been
day,
yelling
sir.
at our
Oh.
runners. I appreciate you. I do have to say it, an hour and 6 in, our runners are still doing pretty decent considering we've ignored our magic powder, which I get. Powder is a pain in the neck, but I knew it was our progression.
I was gonna like do like a falsetto and try to justify skipping Magic Bat, but then you kept talking, so I decided to just say the line.
I think it went very well. I mean, it wasn't like, it went with our theme. It was great. Yeah, Shell, you're exactly right. And this race is on a 15-minute delay, which, I mean, they have to have magic powers to know what they're doing to me. Looks like Tripp is going to go ahead and finish up Skull Woods and grab his second crystal. Yeah, second.
Yep.
No item here because we've already found both of them and it was crap. So where to after this trip? We have a lot of stuff now. So flute, bow, go mode. Depending on what the pendants are. Yeah. Yeah, we don't even need mirror. Mirror might not be required. It could very easily be in Ganon's tower.
Oh. All right, I've already done the Discord and podcast plug, but while we're kind of seeing some traversal and some duplicate checks, don't forget to give our runners a follow if you're enjoying the action so far, and the restream team, including our tracker Oro and our restreamer Amarith, Amarith. Sorry, I keep butchering that. And if you enjoy what comes out of our mouths, God help you. But yeah, you can give us a follow too. Why not?
Ooh. This has been probably one of the most fun seeds that I feel like we've calmed, just because I've been having a heart attack about no one checking Magic Bat. So I definitely hope game 2 will be restreamed and we get to comment. Because, oh my gosh, I always feel so bad for Jeremiah when he's right. Look at that. Those poor little legs. Poor thing. He's trying.
It's like Sonic dragging along the princess in Sonic 06.
Exactly. That's me standing behind the runners, nagging them. You should have went to. Jinx girl. What is this? Amerith, I love you so much. I can't even. I can't even right now. I can't. That's going as the background on my computer.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Woo!
Done.
Team Rocket. Team Rocket strikes again. Oh.
There is nothing on Ped, just 10 arrows. Tripp routing this a little bit better than Timp did, as he has those Titan's mitts on this extra climb. So we are going to get a look at what our medallion for T-Rock, as well as Hookshot Cave, Super Bunny. Might possibly see a... No, we can't get that mail. You don't have the mirror, which we might not see at all this seed, which is sad. But it does cut down on some.
So
This must be odd because I can't even.
So I missed it in all of the memes and other junk. Did Tripp grab the purple chest?
Nope.
All right, Turtle Rock is locked by the Quake medallion, so we can get
We
in
got
there.
that. We can finish T-Rock.
Interesting. Heart container on the locked chest. All right.
Just wrote on my teeth with a dry erase marker. That's awesome. This day is going.
I mean, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's I would ask why you're putting the business end of a dry erase marker anywhere near your mouth, but
I was trying to put the cap on with my teeth.
all right then. Half magic, by the way, in Hookshot Cave, and not much else.
The business end of a dry erase marker. That was great. Oh, I can't. I just can't today. I don't want to
okay.
adult.
The train has gone off the tracks, and the tracks have melted.
The party end.
What does
We
that
are
even mean?
We are a true mullet team. Not only are we Team Rocket, we are Team Mullet. I am the business in the front. Wes is the party in the back. That came out way dirtier than it should have. Oh. This seed has broken me, and I'm pretty sure that T-Rock is the only option we have right now.
I think you don't need a magic marker to make your smile magic. I think my teeth just rotted from the sweetness of that. What the?
I love it. I love it.
Okay.
Chat makes my heart happy. All right, what does T-Rock have for us today?
Well, whatever it is, it's probably on Laser Bridge.
More than likely. 2 keys in the roller room.
Tripp gonna need to be careful with his health here until he manages to get to a bunny beam. Right now, I would say it's advantage Tripp's based solely on the fact that he was the first to actually go check Magic Bat. But if Timp decides to make some different plays here and find something, the lead could very well shift. Or if that happens.
He's run out of magic. He's gonna run out of magic.
Oh dear.
Oh, you don't have a potion.
Oh dear. That is what we in the business like to call a problem.
A code green, if you will.
Yep.
I think that's enough now. I think he can do it.
Especially because he doesn't have to contend with the Gibdos anymore. Got him.
I missed it. What was in the compass chest? Oh, what was in the compass chest of T-Rock? Anybody see that?
Big key
Ooh,
per
interesting.
our tracker.
Thank you, Oro.
Meanwhile, Tripp has now taken 2 deaths in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, probably wishes he had that mirror to grab that blue mail. I wouldn't be surprised to find mirror here. Because why wouldn't we?
It feels like the runners are as punch drunk as the commentators at this point. I mean, yeah. Meanwhile, the chat is now just coming up conjuring nightmare scenarios. Because this chat spends entirely too much time watching restreams produced by Math Girl. Also, bees!
Oh my, down to 1 heart. Nice clutch. Kill there. Looks like Tripp's gonna catch some fairies, which sounds like a good idea.
Yep.
I don't want to wish any more evil on this seed. I mean, your progression was on Magic Bat, and you had to get powder from Agina with no flute. I mean, that's mean enough.
All right, 2 fairies for Tripp. Nice. Oh, for a second there, I thought he equipped the lamp, and I was just like, that's not gonna help, buddy.
Yeah, gonna have to check this lava chest because we are still missing 4 items. 3 items. Oh, we can't check Mimic either. What if there is something in Mimic Cave and you have to come all the way back here with the mirror?
You?
How evil is that?
That's...
I feel bad just saying it. It's like I just told someone their baby's ugly. That's awful.
I have no response to that.
Well, it's awful, isn't it?
Yes, it is. All right.
But
so...
ugly babies exist. It happens. It's okay. Not every baby's cute. Super gross, Jinxie. There you go.
Yeah, Timp filling up on blue potions, saving and quitting back to Link's house, and I think Oro might have called it here. Timp is making the Ice Palace play. So, if TR is a bust and IP pays out, we could very suddenly have a race on our hands. Which isn't to say we don't already have a race on our hands, but Tripp does undoubtedly have the lead at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair.
All right.
I forgot all about Ice Palace being in Logic.
to be fair, with the fire rod being as late as it's been a lot of the time, you were probably looking at it from a perspective of, oh wait, we don't have bombos.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so here comes the laser bridge for Tripp. Half magic and that cane of Berna is going to make this a relatively easy jaunt. Unfortunately, it does not look like there's anything vital here. There is not, and in fact, there are no further items in Skull or Turtle Rock. If I have my item count correct.
I only counted 4, but I was also watching to see what was in that chest in Ice Palace. So I could have missed something.
Also of note, Tripp did not activate the safety exit.
Mm-hmm. It does have 2 fairies and tempered, half magic. He's
And-
good.
okay,
He's got this.
I keep forgetting, even though I constantly use it, that there's that full magic decanter there.
Wow, so TR empty. Not a terrible time suck though, because go mode TR isn't much faster than not go mode TR. And where was the yeah, Oral exactly right. The answer is always laser bridge, except when it isn't laser bridge. Like
By the
I
way,
always
Timp,
say.
nicely done on that Ice Palace bomb jump. I've been seeing a lot of runners have problems with that particular bomb jump recently.
Yeah. You know what else, Wes? It's looking like we're having another situation in our seeds. Like we usually have like really good progression in dungeons and no progression in the overworld. Whereas today we have so many empty dungeons, Desert, Tower of Hera, Skull Woods, and TR all empty of progression.
Something's got to give here soon because we're running out of places to look.
Interesting that Timp routed Ice Palace this way. That is our first item in Ice Palace, though. 1 down, 2 to go.
If I were Timp, I might consider burning one of my potions just to be on the safe side, but that's just me.
He can powder this anti-fairy here in this next room.
This is
Looks
also a
like
valid point.
Tripp is following suit and heading into Ice Palace.
Or,
Oh,
you
this-
know, just YOLO it. That works too, I guess. Big
Yeah.
key there.
Okay. Oh, he
This
picked
is
up. He
fine.
did pick up potions, so I mean, I think he's okay if he gets down
Yeah,
there.
no,
But
he's
he has
fine.
to remember he's in green mail.
Yep. Yeah, you know, this is fine.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, he's not gonna die if something looks at him funny in here. Everything's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there has to be progression here in Ice Palace, and I think it's going to be
And-
in the form of a bow, which is going to lead us to our Pyramid Fairy.
Yep. By the way, items are going to be on the big chest and cold stare, which yikes. I mean, to be fair, there's not much they can torture her.
It's an iced tea room. It's okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I forgot that Tim routed it a bit differently than I do, because I would have done iced tea room already with the way I route, but which is to say poorly.
Oh, look, Tim's going to use an anti-fairy. Thank you, sir. They are. They're just, they know my anxiety is a problem, and they are using it against.
This particular that particular anti-fairy is my mortal enemy. I can never seem to avoid him while still doing the room at all decently. Bo!
Told you. Who called it? Say my name.
when no one is around you. Oh, wait, what?
Thank you so much. I set it up. I was worried you weren't going to follow suit, and I started to panic a little.
On today's Go Mode podcast restream, Team Rocket lyric post Destiny's Child.
Like the one time you did 20 so odd songs
Yeah.
in one stream.
Yes, I'm a hypocrite. What of it?
I appreciate that he's just a boy. You PM me and let me know when you're going to do a race. I will not only restream it, I will comment and track it myself. I will do it all.
Oh, man. All right. Timp now facing off against Cold Stare. With that tempered sword, shouldn't be too much of an issue that he's out of magic, even with the bottles. Keeps the Puffs nice and corralled there for a bit. Loses track of him a little bit. Down goes 1, down goes 2, down goes 3. Nicely executed. And flute!
Wow.
So yeah, Ice Palace definitely was a play.
Ice Palace, Go Mode Palace. Barring.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, yeah. No, that's
Misery Meyer being Bombo.
Yeah. As long as we are in 66% Go mode. If Meyer does not need Bombos, yeah, we're in Go mode. So if you're Timp, I would go check that right now after activating your flute. And it looks like that is exactly what he is setting up to do. He's running for Kakariko. Oro! Oro! No! No! Just no! I think Team Rocket should race each other. Jinxie would annihilate me.
I love that. I accept that challenge. We can even do an ambrosia that you're so fond of. I won't make you do cross keys.
I wouldn't say I'm fond of Ambrosia, it's just the last one I did. Alright, so... Timp is indeed going to check. It is ether locked. So we are, in fact, in Go mode. So Timp gonna go ahead and fish for silvers a little bit here from the looks of it. And yes, for those of you playing along at home, that is completely vanilla medallions. So that begs the question, is this even randomized? Yes, yes, it is randomized, by the way. All right, so Timp is in Go mode and is going to be doing Misery Meyer here. Tripp, not going to be too far behind.
Yeah, this is interesting, although Tripp does have TR already done.
Yes. So he just needs to Go mode, Misery Mire, Eastern, and Palace of Darkness. To be fair, a little bit of time loss in the fact that we aren't going to be able to do the mirror loop of Eastern and Palace of Darkness. And now our restreamer is coming up with further ways to make me hate every word that comes out of my own mouth. And yeah, with that big key, yes, Godmire, by the way. No hover. Lol.
I appreciate that you already have your name in to commentate, as you knew that I was already scheduling to restream He's Just a Boy's race.
Actually, that was in there from the moment I looked at the schedule this morning, because I have the next 2 days off of my day job. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna commentate on those.
Beautiful. It will be done, and I will hold you to it. He's Just a Boy.
So whoever He's Just a Boy's opponent is, enjoy that free game 1 victory, as He's Just a Boy is now contractually obligated to waste a bunch of time entering and re-entering Magic Bat 10 times.
Yeah, he's up against Purdy Wong. That is going to be an intense race, even without the magic batons. Which I don't think you should taunt me with magic bat, because it's going to be a great race. So be sure to watch it. That will be on Zelda Speedrun's main channel, 11 p.m. tomorrow.
I didn't realize it was that late at night.
Yeah.
I thought it was early. What the hell? I'm paying attention.
I might have read the European. I could be wrong. I think it's... I don't know. Now I gotta double check. Now you got me nervous.
I know it's Eastern time, but it's still relatively late. Like, I don't feel like I signed up for multiple races, but I don't feel like I saw one at 11 p.m.
Maybe it's 10 o'clock. So 10 my time.
Time zones. Meanwhile, Timp is in the Vitreous fight, and I do not understand what he is doing. You have a full magic bar, the Cane of Samaria, and Tempered. Why are you plugging away with your bow shots at the mini eyeballs?
Vidi is gross.
Oh,
no!
speaking of gross, that's a death, and I don't think Timp has a fairy.
That feels awful.
Oh God, that's a big oof and a big F in chat. Ah, crap! Did I say Samaria instead of Berna? God bless. Oh, and now Timp, I think, is going full tilt. That's another death.
Wow, that feels bad. That's when you tilt and you can't
Oh, man. And you gotta remember, our runners are still on green mail, because the only way mail we've seen is on Floating Island, and we have not found the mirror. So, especially Dark World dungeons are just going to be lethal for our runners. Lumaga with the potential future episode of the Go Mode podcast plug. Seamless. And now Tripp with the tempered sword spins here. Just cleaning up. And showing off just precisely why I was confused at how Timp was handling that boss fight.
Yeah, I mean, Tim still knows he has a lot to do, and that last location, Titans, is probably weighing on the back of his mind. I think bows are probably a little tilted at the moment. Oh, no mirror. Pod Eastern Comp.
Yep. Yeah, but before these unfortunate deaths by Timp, I thought that particular bit of ugliness was going to give him a little bit of opportunity, because they're both going to have to do it, but Timp can also go mode PR. And as I say that out loud, I realize how little to no sense that makes. So we're just going to move on.
Well, he won't have to touch Laser Bridge at all, because he's going to steal that key
because we will have the big key and 2 small keys from the front chest. So,
True.
although
He's kind of
could
already.
check laser bridge for that mirror.
Yeah, he's kind of already lost that time because of the deaths he's taken here in Turtle Rock or Misery Mire. Sorry, TR on the brain, and he's doing it again. Timp, buddy, you have Tempered and the Cane of Burna. What are you doing? Ugh. Timp finally realizing he has Tempered Sword. Tempered Sword.
And Burna, just put on Burna. You're gonna refill your magic.
Oh, walks straight into a bow shot, lightning bolt there. Runs out of arrows. Gets the Vidi kill. Oh man, Timp. I am at a loss for words to explain what Timp was thinking with his strategy on Vitreous here.
Yeah,
Like, you
Vidi's
just-
a tough one though. I mean, it's easy to get intimidated by Tempered Sword, Lumaga.
Hey, I said that earlier.
Oh,
And
did
nobody
you?
caught.
I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, I love you guys so much.
Anyway, looks like Timp. Oh, just grabbing the health refill and the quick exit. Here, Timp. Gonna finish off Palace of Darkness first.
See, I think Tripp might have routed this a little bit better because gonna be able to come out of here, flute straight to 5, and then go take out Pod.
Mm-hmm.
We do still have an item on Armless Knights.
Yep. Oro getting in a pot shot at my joke delivery, and Lumaga backing me up. So I feel the warm and fuzzies inside. Thanks, Lumaga. Just a big 20 on the Armless
20.
Knights. Another thing that seems to happen once a seed we commentate on, or at least I commentate on, is that one of our runners has trouble with an Armos fight, and I think Tripp just ticked that particular square off the card with that particular fight.
Interestingly enough, we don't know the items that are in Misery Mire.
We do know one of them, First
Do we?
Shield.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Well, only our mirror locations are really left other than Pyramid Ferry, so I think it's safe to say Mirror's probably in Ganon's Tower.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, Pyramid Ferry is the only place it could be. Or the mushroom, but we haven't seen that either.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is quite firmly Tripp's race to lose at this point. Especially after those unfortunate deaths in Misery Mire for Timp. But there's still a chance for things to even up if Ganon's Tower proves to be particularly trolly with the big key.
When isn't Ganon's Tower particularly?
True, valid point. I just saw in chat somebody mentioning the possibility of Helma having mirror. I don't think that's possible. I think we've seen all the items in House of Darkness, question mark?
I think we have one.
Well, I mean, okay then. Maybe it is possible. If it is, that will save. That will be a little bit of time that Timp can gain back.
Oh, Tripp's dangerously low on arrows.
Luckily, at the cutscene room, so he is not going to need any more arrows for the rest of this dungeon. Both our runners actually kind of low on arrows for going up to Ganon's tower, but they'll both have plenty of opportunities to grab more. Timp powers through Helmetsar King. Is this pod racing? Oh god.
Nailed it.
Nice callback. Nice callback. Timp is still going to have to do Turtle Rock as well. Luckily, he will be able to quasi-go mode it because of the key layout. But, yeah. Case in point about the arrows. Look at all those arrows those turtles just dropped.
Very nice.
Alright, Timp now, saving and quitting, heading to Link's house, and fluting, presumably to 5 to do Eastern Palace. Tripp, meanwhile, is about to pick up his 7th crystal. So very shortly, we will be getting a certain game underway. TR only takes like 6 Ganon Falls. I hate that Ganon Falls have become an actual unit of measurement in this community sometimes. Anyway, down goes Helmetsar King for Tripp. That is going to be his 7th crystal. So, that Ganon's Tower Big Key guessing game is about to get underway. Once somebody issues the command in chat, which is usually a restreamer, but there it is. Lag. We will open up the floor to guesses. 22 locations in Ganon's Tower, one of which will have the big key we need to progress. Enter in a number from 1 to 22 in chat to determine your guess for that location. The closest without going over will receive an imaginary amount of points. An amount of imaginary points, words, for the leaderboard, plus a few other prizes of dubious quality. So get those guesses in chat. Hey, Matt's not here. Somebody has to do it. And besides, it's already gotten me points once, so...
These poor runners have had to climb that mountain so many times.
The winner of the BK guessing game gets a free album of West Side Vandal Sings. That would be a punishment, sir.
That does sound like an awesome music group, though. Did we just start a band? I can play the tuba and the saxophone.
All right. As our restreamer just pointed out, we will be closing the guesses as soon as Tripp enters the tower on stream, which is right about now. I have absolutely no musical talent, and I couldn't carry a tune if he gave me a bucket, so... All right. Timp with a pretty decent Armos fight, by the way. And Tripp now getting ready to open on up his first chest. Chest number 1, small key. Chest number 2, small key. Magical bucket with auto-tune. Nice. All right. Location number 3 is the big key!
Wow. I'm just gonna say, that's a bold choice to not do right side when you're given 2 small keys, but definitely the right choice for Timp.
All right. So, John the Branch, being the first person to guess what I usually guess in the Big Key guessing game, by the way, is the winner of this particular run of the Gens Tower Big Key guessing game. 13 points for the leaderboard, and a lifetime supply of Link to the Past randomized seeds, redeemable at alttpr.com. As always, please consult a wiki if your standard seed lasts longer than 4 hours. So the climb up the gauntlet begins.
I forgot. Tim didn't check any of Dark Depth.
He did not.
So many empty dungeons.
Yeah, it was a very overworld heavy seed. Reminiscent of I think it was V30, or no not V30, I think it was like V28 of the logic.
Yeah, and that book was just a massive troll.
Oh, that's a good point from Oro. Timp went up in the Dark World, and Timp had not opened Turtle Rock yet. So he has to save and quit back out and reclimb in the Light World.
Oh, that feels bad.
Ugh. And especially in this situation where you're an hour and 45 minutes in and you've got to be looking for that dot done. And even Tripp is probably looking over his shoulder for the dot done, right?
Oh, for sure.
And like to be looking over your shoulder for a dot done and then realize, oops, I'm in the wrong world. Yeah, that does not feel good.
But I get it. How many seeds have you played where you didn't find in the mirror? I mean, I've played a couple, and it screws you up really bad.
Oh yeah, no argument here. It definitely messes with you. Tripp having a little bit of trouble with Landless too, but should be able to get things taken care of here. For a second, I was like, why is he equipping the Cane of Samaria to deal with Landless? And then I realized he knew he had the kill and was just getting it equipped for the Wizrobe room.
I wouldn't be surprised, although Tripp might feel behind here, to see what's in these chests up here at the top of the tower.
Yep.
I mean, I would think for sure at least the Moldarm 2 chest.
Yeah, lighting the torches, not these torches, but the next set of torches we're going to see, without the fire rod is a bit tricky. Especially when you're used to being able to do it the fast way with the fire rod.
Oh, absolutely.
Up Tripp. Still has those fairies, I hope.
I know he just went to the potion shop. Oh gosh, at least one, thank goodness.
Yep, there it is. Oh yeah, right side Gens Tower torch puzzle without fire rod. Oof. That's a big ol' oof.
Oh, it hurts.
320 rupees in those two chests. Because, you know, we needed more 320 rupees more to go with our 1080 that we already had.
I mean, at least we can say that the game was at least nice and put the key in an area where you probably wouldn't mirror anyway.
Yep. Alright, Moldarm 2. Hi, Moldarm. Bye, Moldarm. Oh, Timp taking a death in the Crystal Roller room in Turtle Rock. And Validation Silvers! Again! That's the second time we've seen Validation Silvers while we've been calming in like the last week.
Yep.
And the rich get richer for Tripp, who is now heading into the Geometry War. Nice double.
Oh, Tim getting that fairy going through the door. That was nice.
Yeah.
Oh, those chain shots are awful.
All right, 2-2-2 for Tripp. Nicely done. And he's heading to the big pig fight. All right. So, put on your... if you're Tripp, it's time to kind of put on your big boy pants for this Ganon fight because green male. Which means Ganon hugs you and there goes 8 hearts. So, even though this is tempered in silvers, this is by no means a free fight in green male. Case in point, those fire bats just did 4, I believe. Yeah.
Has a fairy.
Yeah, but taking that much damage per shot doesn't matter how many backups you have. You can't take very many of those.
Oh, definitely not.
All right. Does take care of the first 2 phases of the fight. Chewing through phase 3 now. And as long as he doesn't get too close, yeah, he should be fine. But phase 1 and phase 2 are definitely nothing to sneeze at, especially with green male. Oh no, silver, Ganon's one true weakness. Oh, missed the torch glitch. Should not be a... Yeah, I was about to say, not going to be an issue with those silvers, especially after hitting a double.
Beautiful.
And there's...
fight.
Yeah, that was a pretty decent Ganon fight right there. So now Tripp just has to avoid the most dangerous 1x3 bridge in all of Hyrule. Get those GG's ready in chat. And there it is. Tripp finishes in first place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 1 second. And Tripp does indeed get to drink from the fire hose. Be sure to stay tuned after this race for a commercial-free viewing of Gandhi 2.
And Timp has forfeited from the race, and I believe we are joined by both of them in comms here.
Yep.
Yes,
GG's.
GG's, guys.
Having
No.
maybe. I heard Tripp for a second.
Yeah, can you guys hear me all right?
There we go.
Yeah, it helps when you unmute it. Woof! What a seed, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, how about that magic powder that I yelled at you guys to check for 45 minutes?
I specifically didn't check it. I put it off and I was like, I should have checked that a little sooner. And then like I was checking other things and I was like, okay, well at this point I've put it off so long. I feel like it's like a thing now. Like I basically have to accept that hopefully there's nothing there. And if there is, I've already lost. Then of course I last locationed it and was like, probably playing from behind for the rest of this one.
For me, I was sweating bullets because I took a death in the bottom of next to Zelda's cell to the ball and chain card. So I was avoiding that check like the plague, and I kept dreading thinking that the next progression item was going to be there and I was going to have to go all the way back through.
Oh, I'd forgotten about.
Oh, I was sweating bullets almost the whole seed from that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the seed wasn't very nice to you guys as far as routing wise. Like, it did give you those boots, but it didn't give you the flute. You know, flute was go mode and no mirror. I mean, that mirror never showing up, that is enough to tilt anybody just playing the game, let alone in, you know,
Yeah, as you saw from the end when I was going up Dark World instead of Light World, because I'm just so used to being able to mirror over and I wanted to get Super Bunny. I never could quite get the hang of not having mirror, and it definitely hurt me several times.
Yeah, there was a whole lot of stuff that I wouldn't have put off quite so long had I had a mirror.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I think the only check we have left, other than the rest of Ganon's tower, is Pyramid Fairy. So it's very possible that the mirror isn't.
See, I figured when I looked at the map in Light World and saw that both red crystals were in Light World, I was like, oh, I bet there's something that's going to open up a bunch of progression inside of Pyramid Fairy. How ironic that we went the whole seed and neither one of us, it was one of the only checks that neither one of us looked at.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
That's
when
funny.
I went up and I did Turtle Rock before going to Ice, and I went all the way. Before I was going there, I'm like, should I go to Ice? Should I go to Turtle Rock and kind of, bank on whether, I bank on getting the better routing into Ganon's Tower, or do I go to Ice Palace or put off Ice Palace and hopefully go mode it? And I'm like, there's no way that there's not progression in those 12 checks up there. Boy, was I wrong.
There was half magic in Hookshot Cave. But that was really it. And I let me pull my board back out here. We had 5 dungeons completely empty of anything useful.
Oh my god.
Yeah, which was pretty interesting. So you had an empty Eastern Palace, Desert, Tower of Hera, Thieves Town. Well, Thieves Town did have a sword. Skull Woods, and TR. None of them had any kind of progression or really anything. I mean, there was no mail. There was nothing that would help you guys.
Yeah.
Which was gross, especially with that blue mail sitting right there on Floating Island that you couldn't get.
Yeah, man. I just played bad this time. I definitely didn't feel like I put forth as good effort as I did in the last round of bracket matches against Alex Nilsson. But yeah, I made a lot of small mistakes. I made a lot of not just the wrong decisions, but poor decisions. Like as soon as I would decide to go check something, I would be like, why am I going here? Like it would be so much smarter to be going over there instead. And that just like kept happening. And I had some unfortunate deaths, and I had like a dark room death, Dark Cross, that ended up not mattering at all anyway because there was nothing down there. Yeah, I played bad. I'll do a better job next time, I promise.
No, you guys did great. The thing that really it got both of you was that sequence break in pod that led you to the book, and that definitely led you astray because there was no progression from that book. When Agina was sitting there with the powder, which ironically both of our fetch quests led to required items, one being the glove, one being the ice rod. So it was kind of a rabbit hole that you guys fell into there for a second, but I definitely get it with the checks you had left. At that point, it was Magic Bat, which you had to get from Agina, and the other one was Spike Cave. I mean, both two very out of the way locations, no flute, no mirror, it was just no good choices. So I definitely don't blame you for the sequence break. It just unfortunately didn't pay out in anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was kind of like you had a choice between efficient routing and following the logic, and this time following the logic won.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So for next time, I'm thinking I'll probably change it over to a 6-6.
Ooh.
Okay, sounds good.
Very nice.
Alrighty, we will be looking forward to that, and hopefully we can get a restream for it. Anything else you guys want to touch on before we send this one on to the ending?
No, just send it. Just bury it deep in the ground. I don't ever want to see it or think about it again. Let's just all just go to bed.
Bury the
Just all go
past.
to bed.
Kill it if you have to.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I will say thanks for the restream, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, for
appreciate it.
sure. It was definitely
Yes.
fun.
It was a fun experience, as it usually is when Team Rocket is commentating. I both love and hate that is what we are probably going to be known by now for quite some time.
If the shoe
Anyway,
fits,
yeah.
Yep.
All
Buy
right.
it in every color.
All right. So, as always, if you enjoyed the content, please give our runners a follow, because without them, there is nothing for us to commentate on, while also spouting memes and 90s Kids commentary. Speaking of 90s Kids commentary, there's also our restream team to give follows, including our tracker Oro and our restreamer Amerith. If you enjoyed the platform itself, don't forget about that podcast, available at gomopodcast.com or anywhere you get your podcasts from, like, say, Spotify. There's the Discord if you enjoyed the chat in the community with that bi-weekly seed as well. So with all those plugs out of the way, there's just keep tuned to both here and the Zelda Speedrun series of channels for more restreams in the coming days. The next 100% confirmed restream I can see is, in fact, He's Just a Boy versus Pretty Wrong tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern on Zelda Speedruns 1. Although there are a few races before that with people willing to track and calm with no confirmed restream. So we'll see what happens there. With all that being said, on behalf of the racers, the restream team, and the Go Mode podcast, have a good night. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.
Good night.